Everyone thinks the MCU is broken right now. Too many timelines, too many variants, too many contradictions, too many characters doing things that feel wrong. Fans say Marvel lost the plot after Endgame, that the multiverse saga is messy, directionless, chaotic. But what if none of that is true? What if the MCU isn't collapsing because of bad writing, but because it was always meant to collapse? Because when you look closely, Marvel has been telling one single story since Iron Man in 2008, a story about control, consequences, and the cost of playing God. And the most uncomfortable truth is this: the real villains of the multiverse saga aren't Kang, aren't Doctor Doom, aren't even cosmic beings beyond comprehension. The real villains are the Avengers themselves. Marvel didn't fall apart. It's executing its final design. The first lie Marvel ever told us is that the multiverse began in Loki, that everything broke when Sylvie killed He Who Remains. That's what the TVA wanted us to believe. But the multiverse existed long before that moment. Doctor Strange fractured reality every time he used the Time Stone. The Avengers created branching timelines the moment they time traveled in Endgame. Thanos didn't just wipe out half the universe, he destroyed the Infinity Stones, the very anchors holding reality together. The TVA wasn't protecting the sacred timeline. They were containing damage, compressing fractures, holding together a dam that was already cracking. Sylvie didn't break the multiverse. She removed the last restraint, keeping it from flooding everything. And once that restraint was gone, collapse became inevitable. The Infinity Stones were never just weapons. They were stabilizers, each one enforcing a fundamental law of existence: time, space, reality, mind, power, soul. As long as all six existed in one universe, reality stayed anchored. That's why removing even one stone threatened total collapse. Now, think about what Thanos did. He destroyed all six at once. That wasn't balance. That was detonation. From that moment onward, the multiverse had a countdown. And the Avengers didn't stop it, they accelerated it. Every decision they made after Endgame wasn't healing reality. It was stretching it thinner, patching cracks with short-term solutions, borrowing stability from the future. The multiverse saga isn't about heroes rising. It's about consequences catching up. And that's why Kang was never the final villain. Kang understands time, but time isn't the real threat anymore. Incursions are, universes colliding, one must die. And here's the truth: Marvel doesn't say out loud, Kang doesn't cause incursions. Heroes do. Every incursion begins with a good intention. Doctor Strange broke reality to save Christine. Wanda shattered universes chasing her children. Spider-Man fractured existence because he wanted people to forget his identity. Kang didn't create chaos. He tried to manage it. That's why he always loses. Because this story was never about conquest. It's about consequences. Loki didn't become a hero. He became a load-bearing god. At the end of Loki Season 2, he does something no Avenger has ever done. He accepts infinite responsibility without applause, without victory, without an ending. He doesn't fix the multiverse. He holds it together with his own existence, turning himself into a living bridge between infinite timelines, enduring endless pressure so reality doesn't tear itself apart. Every universe still standing is standing because Loki is suffering. And that's not a triumph, it's a delay. Because even gods break. And while Loki holds the threads, the Avengers keep pulling them tighter. Iron Man weaponized the Mind Stone long before anyone understood what it truly was. Captain America fractured time itself, choosing personal closure over cosmic balance. Doctor Strange violated natural law again and again, not out of malice but necessity, convincing himself that the ends justified the means. Wanda rewrote reality because grief demanded it. Spider-Man destabilized memory across the universe because he wanted a normal life back. None of these choices were evil. That's what makes them terrifying. The multiverse saga isn't about villains crossing lines, it's about heroes crossing them repeatedly, slowly redefining what's acceptable until reality itself can't keep up. That's why incursions keep happening. That's why universes keep colliding. The Avengers didn't protect existence, they used it, and now Marvel is forcing them to pay. That's why Iron Man's legacy doesn't end with sacrifice, but with transformation into Doctor Doom, a man who understands that unchecked heroism is just chaos wearing a moral badge. That's why Captain America doesn't return as the symbol we remember, but as Captain Hydra, a reminder that ideals can be weaponized when certainty replaces doubt. That's why Wanda becomes a myth whispered across universes, and Doctor Strange becomes a fugitive hunted by reality itself. Heroes don't retire in the multiverse saga. They accumulate debt. And that debt is coming due in Doomsday, not because of one villain's plan, but because the system itself is failing. Loki can hold the multiverse together for a while, but he can't stop what's coming. Because infinite freedom creates infinite destruction. And when reality finally demands order, it won't ask nicely, it will take it. Secret Wars isn't a war, it's an audit. A final judgment on which universes deserve to exist, and which ones have proven they can't survive their own freedom. By the time Avengers Doomsday arrives, the multiverse won't be breaking anymore. It will already be failing. Incursions won't feel like disasters, they'll feel like corrections. And this is where Doctor Doom enters the story. Not as a conqueror chasing power, but as an architect, trying to impose order on infinite chaos. Doom doesn't want to rule everything. He wants to control collapse, to reduce infinity into something stable, something survivable, something that doesn't tear itself apart every time a hero makes an emotional decision. And the terrifying part is this: he might be right, because the multiverse doesn't fail due to evil, it fails due to excess. Too many timelines, too many second chances, too many realities escaping consequences. Secret Wars is Marvel's answer to that problem, not by erasing history, but by selecting from it. One world, one timeline, one truth. Not a reboot, but a reset with memory. Only a handful of characters will remember what was lost, carrying the weight of infinite dead universes, while everyone else lives in a simplified reality that feels safe, familiar, and complete. No multiverse. No variants, no endless fixes, just consequences. And that's why this saga is darker than Infinity War ever was. Thanos killed half the universe in an instant. The Avengers killed possibility itself over years of well-intentioned choices. This is the cost of playing God, of deciding you know better than reality itself. So, when people say Marvel fell off, remember this: what you're watching isn't chaos, and it isn't failure. It's collapse by design. A story about heroes who saved the universe so many times that they finally broke it. And when the dust settles after Doomsday, the question won't be who survived. The real question will be far more uncomfortable: who deserved to.